everybody, today I'm going to be talking to you about my favorite flash, and that is the Godox V1. Now this is a flash that is accessible enough in price that I think most photographers and even most professional photographers can warrant going out and getting this. I am going to let you know before we go any further that I'm putting a link in the description to where you can get the absolute best price on one of these. Just make sure to get the flash that corresponds with your camera. For instance, I have the V1S, which is for Sony cameras. If you have a Canon camera or other camera brand, be sure you get the right one for your camera. So recently I was really looking for a good flash that was easy to use, had lots of functionality, and delivered professional results because I had a surprise wedding come up. I had a wedding booked for a year from now. Due to circumstances and different events in this person's life, they had to reschedule for a date in November, indoors in the evening. And so we went from having an outdoor, potentially like a barn wedding with lots of sun and light in the middle of summer, to having an indoor, dimly lit wedding in the evening in the fall, which is even more difficult. So I really needed a flash. I had been holding off on getting a flash for a while because most all of my events had been outdoor type of events and all of my photography sessions had been outdoor up to that point. Fast forward a little bit, I got this photography job and was told that I had like 2 weeks to prepare, which is a really quick turnaround. I knew I had to come up with a good flash solution and quick. So I did a ton of research. I probably spent like 3 days of my life just researching flash options for my camera. And after a lot of research and also talking to a couple photography experts, I have a couple of friends who are also professional photographers. I talked to them and I really got their opinions on things. I found out there was one flash that kept popping up. I really foresaw myself going with a Sony flash, but Sony flashes have their own set of issues, as do most flashes. And I thought if I'm going to go with one, I want to go with one that I know people are actually using and people are getting good results with. So I decided to just go for it. I think it's in a really good price range where most people can afford it. Again, I'm putting a link down in the description where you can get a really good price on this one, best price available. And I love the fact that it's also pretty easy to set up and learn. If you wanted to, I guess you could just put this on your camera and use it straight out of the box. I personally wanted to learn a little bit about the menu system and get to know it a little bit better. And there are some amazing videos out there that really go over those things with you. But if you're wanting to see real world results and how this flash actually works, let's look at some examples here. Because I'm a real world photographer, I'm not someone who works out of a studio. I have done indoor portraits before, but I personally love doing outdoor and on location photo shoots. If you need a photographer, check out my link to my website down in the description. I do travel as well, so that's not an issue for me. One thing to note is this is a very versatile flash. It does have a lot of different angles that you can use. As you can see, I can bend it forwards, backwards. You can tilt it sideways. You can turn it to where it tilts sideways. And I actually really like the fact, if you look on the camera, I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting here, but it even tells you what angle you're tilting at. Like if you're at a 90-degree angle, if you're at a 60-degree angle, it's got little indicators built in to where it shows you that. It's a really well thought out product, and you can get a diffuser for the top if you want. I found that I actually didn't like the results that I was getting with my diffuser, so I personally use this one without a diffuser and have gotten amazing results. If you learn how to direct your light, you're not going to really have any issues with that. I don't think you have to have a diffuser unless you just really want one. The results are not that different in my opinion. It does have a really nice screen here on the back. It's not touchscreen. I don't know that many flashes are. It does have really good and intuitive menu navigation. I went ahead and turned the beeping sounds off on this one because I didn't want every time I took a picture for that beep to go off, especially at the wedding, because you don't want the attention to be on you, the photographer. You want it to be on the bride and the groom and everybody else that's part of the wedding. I'm also going to show you a photo or two that were not taken at the wedding, that were just taken since then for different things, and show you how the photos look without flash versus with flash. And you can tell a major difference. In a lot of instances, you might be able to go back in some editing software and really do a few things with it if you want to brighten it up. But I personally think if you can get a good photo out of your camera to begin with, that's gonna save you a lot of trouble when you go back and you start to edit those photos. So let's look at a few photos here. These were taken indoor, at nighttime, dim lighting. I love how they turned out. I could not have gotten these photos without this flash. I actually took the flash off and tried some things with the camera and the settings, and then went back into the editing when we did the wedding rehearsal to see if I could just edit and make things look good. And absolutely 100% without this flash, the photos would have been terrible. Not only do I use this flash, but my second shooter, the person that was with me at the wedding, who was helping me get those shots that were maybe from different angles and different locations than I was at, they use the same flash. My other friends who are professional photographers use the same flash. This is a professional flash that is accessible when it comes to an everyday person's budget. I don't think that I would trust any other brand when it comes to flash. I love the idea of having a Sony one to go with my Sony camera, but I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of the Sony products that I've tried are good, and then you've got, you know, third-party vendors that are creating products for the Sony cameras and other DSLRs that are better than the original manufacturer's products. And it's just because we have a lot more option these days versus 15, 20 years ago. We don't necessarily have to go with the camera brand for the flash and all the accessories of the camera we got. So the Godox V1, cannot recommend it enough, but be sure to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out in any way. That really helps the channel so much. Subscribe if you love cameras and all that cool stuff. And let's check out some photos that I got with the Godox V1. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you guys later.